Progressive overload is a commonly used training principle that aims to improve a specific skill or ability. The idea is to increase the demand on the nervous system by progressively challenging it. This can be done through different methods, but the principle is the same. The nervous system responds to stress by making adaptations to help you handle that stress. It does this through memories and neural pathways. Moderate weights that are challenging, but not beyond your current limits, are used to progressively overload the muscles. Over time, your nervous system adapts to handle the new stress. You will be able to lift more weight, and the adaptation will be even more noticeable. This is progressive overload in action. It is how you can increase your mental toughness through strength training. If you're excited about this topic, smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our content. What is progressive overload? Simply put, progressive overload is the process of lifting heavier and heavier weights over time. It's the number of growth hormones released into your body that makes you grow stronger. It's the neural pathways in your muscles that allow you to lift heavier weights. The goal of progressive overload is to increase the demand on your body by progressively challenging it. This can be done through different methods, but the principle is the same. The nervous system responds to stress by making adaptations to help you handle that stress. It does this through memories and neural pathways. For example, when you first learned to drive, you had to concentrate and follow road signs and signals. This was a lot of new information to process. By the time you had passed your driving test, you had built up mental pathways that made learning to drive easier. The same principle of progressive overload is used in most forms of strength training. How to build muscle and lose fat with progressive overloading. There are several ways to implement progressive overload in your training program. One way is to add more weight to your lifts as you become stronger. This will overload your nervous system. Another way is to add more reps to your lifts. This will overload your nervous system too. The key is to mix these up so your body doesn't get used to one method. When you consistently add more and more weight to your lifts, you are trying to build muscle. If your goal is fat loss, you will be trying to lose fat when you add more reps. How to calculate your individual overload for muscle gain. First, you need to determine how much you weigh. Then, you will find out how many kilograms you lift. For example, if you weigh 120 pounds, and you bench press 100 pounds, you would multiply 120 by 0.06 to get your lifting intensity in pounds. If you lift heavier, you would multiply that number by 1.2. Next, you need to find out how many reps you can do. For example, if you can bench press 100 pounds for 15 reps, you would add 100 to 15 to get your total reps for muscle gain. 150 would be ideal. How to calculate your individual overload for fat loss. First, you need to determine how much you weigh. Then, you will find out how many kilograms you lift. For example, if you weigh 120 pounds, and you bench press 100 pounds, you would multiply 120 by 0.06 to get your lifting intensity in pounds. If you lift heavier, you would multiply that number by 1.2. Next, you need to find out how many reps you can do. For example, if you can bench press 100 pounds for 15 reps, you would add 100 to 15 to get your total reps for fat loss. 150 would be ideal. How often to overload your muscles? The more often you overload your muscles, the more results you will see. Overloading your muscles once a week is a good place to start. If you are new to strength training, you may need to do more frequent overloading. As you become more experienced, you can ease off the frequency a little. How often to overload your body for maximum results? The most effective way to overload your muscles is through volume training and heavy volume training. In volume training, you will lift heavy weights for a low volume. You can lift this weight for as long as you want. For example, if you are bench pressing a barbell for 8 reps at 100 pounds for 8 sets, you would rest for 1 minute and then do another 8 reps. You would continue doing this until you had completed 8 sets. You would then take a 1-minute break, and then do another 8 reps. A progressive overload workout plan involves increasing your weight and/or the number of reps you do during your training sessions over time. This can be done through different methods, but the principle is the same. The way you do this will depend on your training goals, but in general, it goes like this. You first determine your starting weights. Once you are familiar with those weights, you increase the weight gradually until you are lifting at or near your new maximum. This is sometimes called a base or holding period. You then reduce the number of reps you do until you are close to your new set maximum. After that, you increase the weight gradually while you continue to do the same number of reps until you reach your new set maximum. As always, thanks for watching our video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and bye until the next video.